Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's energy update for July 15th through to the 22nd. My name is Rebecca Meisel, and if this is your first time joining me on this update, welcome and thank you for being here. So very excited to dive into this week's themes and energy forecast as to what exactly we need to know for the week ahead, what energies are going to be present, what's really going to be supporting us throughout this time, and what themes to look out for as we navigate this exciting time in history. So let's dive into what channeled through for us collectively. There is quite a lot to this update, and I'm excited to dive in. There's a lot going on astrologically, so if you haven't looked into that, I would highly recommend you do this week. There is some really good information that can help us traverse this energy, and also to be mindful not to partake in any of that fear that might be kind of coming through as well, because there has been quite a bit of this that I've been seeing about the next week and how there's so much turbulent energy and things to be worried about, volatile energies. And that might very well be so, but for most of us, and I want to say all of us, let's focus on how this energy can be supportive for us and how this could actually help bring us to more revelations, more goodness in how we navigate life in this next chapter. So we're going to start off this week with our first topic, which was all about picking and choosing our battles wisely. So we might have some of these themes present where we are going to have a big focus on relationships this week. Also, money matters this week. So really keep your eyes open for that. So let's read what channeled here. So we have pick and choose your battles, allowing life to flow unhindered and unviolated, allowing free speech and your own voice to also be heard, holding back when necessary, knowing when someone is on their own journey and to let them go. You are not here to change people's minds. You are here to be light. Developing a deeper understanding of what is unconditional love without beating yourself up in the process. Love is patient. Love is kind. How can you be love today? All right, let's pause this here. So much to unpack with this first opening statements here, and I feel it's very, very coinciding with this energy that might be rising up. So once again, this might really apply to those relationships this week. Where are we feeling perhaps attacked? Where are we feeling on edge with others? And where do we need to allow ourselves to unfurl to the process and let things be as they may be? So what I'm really hearing is learning how to navigate even challenging chapters, challenging relationships, challenging topics, and difference of opinion with ease, with grace, and not taking things personally. This is a huge theme that I've noticed really coming up strongly, is learning how to not take difference of opinion personally. So this is where we need to use our wisdom. This is where we need to have this set intention that this week we're going to be aware and we are going to pick and choose those battles that we partake in very wisely. And I love how this really moves into that flow state, because a lot of times when I first heard this statement as an example of picking and choosing your battles, I didn't necessarily associate that with flow, right? When we decide to let things go and let things be as they are, that is the flow state. So for us to move forward in this really beautiful, harmonizing energy that we are being called to cultivate, even when under test or trial, it is really going to keep our peace. And this, of course, is going to come with that fine line, because some of us do need to speak up and be able to communicate clearly our own views and not hold back from that and not feel like we need to people please. So we have to find that fine line this week. What is appropriate for me to say? When is it appropriate for me to speak up and advocate for myself, but also have respect and hold space for others and their different views and opinions, and not to allow that to hinder our peace, to consistently allow that, like water off a duck's back, to just flow on by. Right? So they're really bringing this awareness of conflict, and they're also showing me social media here. So where are we engaging unnecessarily in conflict? Where may we be trying to force our opinions or convince other people that we're right and we know what we're talking about? When we think of someone that's in their power, that's in their confidence, there is no need to prove. When someone's in their power, they don't feel that requirement. They know it, they feel it, they embody it. So there really isn't ever a time that you need to prove yourself or your point. Your actions, you embodying who you are and your vital authenticity and your essence itself is point enough. So I keep hearing, do not engage this week in any of the turbulent themes that might present. Difference of opinion. Really reel yourself in and recognize when you are feeling the need to prove yourself or feeling the need to engage in conflict unnecessarily, and have a moment and be like, why? Why is this so important to me? Why is this so necessary for me to prove this point, right? We can glean a lot when we start noticing these tendencies with ourselves and where we might actually be hindering our main mission, which is to embody unconditional love, to allow ourselves to come to this harmonization and promote a harmonious energy, a peaceful energy on earth and within ourselves. So take note of, where is there a war going on within yourself? Where is there a conflict that we are wanting to engage with? And know when it's time to hold back, right? So I love this so much, because we're going to come across people in our journey, especially when we're on this healing journey and we're enlightening ourselves and we're improving ourselves and we're learning so much wonderful information. And when we start shifting and changing and embodying this energy, it can be tough, because we're going to see others who are not on the same path. We might actually get the knowledge of being like, oh, hey, if you do this or you do that, or if you shift this or try this, you could change your life. You could go this same path. And we might be coming from the best of places. But I love how this really helps us put things in perspective, where sometimes we have to know when to let go of someone and when we need to let things be dropped, to let them learn in their own space and in their own time, right? So one thing I have truly learned is that is so true. We cannot force other people to see our points of view. We cannot force someone's healing. When they are ready, they will be ready. And for some, they might not be ready at all in this lifetime, because that is not their journey. So where do we have to have this allowance of other people's journeys, including our own? Right? So allow yourself to see this bigger picture this week. If conflict arises, really take a step back and really choose very diligently what energies you're going to promote and partake in. Is this worth your peace? Is this worth your effort, your time, your energy? Or where do you need to say, I'm not going to engage in this battle? So I really love how they put this so concisely, where it's like, you are not here to change people's minds. You are here to be light. That's why you're here. You're here to be the light. You're here to be on your specific journey. So another person's journey is really none of your business. And we have to let that truth hit home this week, especially because of this conflict energy, because of this volatile energy that's happening. So develop that deeper understanding. What is unconditional love truly? And I love this because once more, if we're someone, we're like, you know what? I want to be love in this world. I want to be and embody unconditional love. This could be a bit of a test. Loving others even when they have a different opinion, even when they might persecute you. Okay? And this is where that beautiful reminder and example of Christ is so compelling. And whether you believe in Christ or not, the story is so beautiful in this because he was unconditional love. He embodied that and looked even at his persecutors and forgave them. He understood where they were in their journey. He didn't need to partake in conflict or prove himself. He embodied his path. And yes, that triggered people massively, but it helped heal other people also massively. So where do we need to be more in that energy of unconditional love? Not love to only the ones we believe deserve it. Where do we need to broaden our perspective? Very interesting. So this next bit, love is patient and love is kind. How can you be loved today? I love this so much because it really once more brings it home. Where are we not being patient enough with other people and where they are? Right? Where are we not being kind enough and considering where that person is in their healing journey? So if there are others that come across your path this week that, persecute you, don't understand you, want to pick a fight, have a different opinion, maybe they just don't see your point of view, where can we give the grace? Because once more, we can talk till the cows come home, but our actions, our energy, who we are as an individual is what really speaks without words. So how can you be patient, be kind, and be love today? All right, so let's read what channeled next. Patience will be required on the next leg of the journey. Know when to let go and have grace and let it flow. So yes, this is very much this embodiment of this divine feminine energy that we've been learning to integrate. So letting ourselves be in the flow state, letting ourselves ebb and flow with this energy, and whatever life and challenge comes our way. Very, very important that we start integrating and taking the actions now in this energy and with this forward movement. So with people and their limited understanding, this can test us. This might be a big test for you this week, but hold true to yourself. Hold true to who you truly are, my beautiful friends. And know when you do, that in itself will speak volumes. So let's move to our second theme, which is all about believing in the impossible. What do you believe is impossible for your life? It's time to release the stories of the past to create a new, fulfilling future. Okay, this was really cool because once more we are getting this amazing integration of confidence. A lot of us have needed to start advocating for ourselves, taking the steps towards our dreams, our goals, and really learning how to grow those things from seed. So now that we have this new foundation, it's now nurturing it, right? It's now time to grow it. It's now time to put in the groundwork. So what I keep seeing is now that we've planted these dreams, these seeds, we need to now take the next step. So are we believing that these will germinate? Are we believing that the plant is going to grow, that our dreams are going to sprout? Okay, so they're showing me once more the seedling beneath the surface, and it is starting to germinate, but perhaps we can't see that yet. Perhaps we're just seeing the top of the soil and nothing's come through yet. Now, that can be that uncomfortable place where it's like, I don't know if it's going to grow. I don't know if what I did was right. I don't know if I planted the right seed and if it's going to truly take off from here. So we're kind of in this space where we're needing to have faith and we're needing to trust the seeds that we've planted, and they will grow, right? We need to believe in what seems impossible. We need to believe in what we cannot see yet. So faith is going to be required, and we need to let go of any of these past stories that say otherwise. So a big one that's coming up to challenge a lot of us and our narratives this week is around money, is around finances, it's around lack and abundance. So really be mindful of where these themes present currently in your reality. What has been triggering you? What has been making you fearful? What has been making you really look at those finances? And what are those beliefs about abundance that we truly have? So one of the big things I see a lot is, we put out this affirmation, okay, I am abundant, I am abundant. And yes, your words are incredibly powerful, but try saying a statement you truly believe in and notice the difference in how it feels. So if you don't really believe you are abundant, those words are going to fall flat. We need to come to this space of believing, and believing is a feeling. Hope is a feeling. So we're learning to build this foundation on pure faith and pure hope. So this week, they want you to start identifying how you associate abundance in your life and with backing. Okay, so how do you feel about the abundance in your life? And what can you find that gives you this feeling of plenty, of overwhelming joy, abundance, fulfillment? And to partake in those things as regularly as possible. So they gave me this example of someone who's only known lack, okay? This could be a lot of your stories. You grew up with nothing. You grew up with the fear of never having enough. So for someone who's never experienced actual abundance in that specific area, say in finances, it can be really hard to believe that that's possible for yourself, especially if you haven't ever experienced it. You don't know what it feels like to feel safe. You don't know what it feels like to feel secure, substantial, and not worry. Okay? So it can be hard for someone like that to just shift the mindset, to shift the energy when that's all they've ever known. So the tips that came through were finding little ways to believe. Abundance isn't only one form, but many. What does abundance look like to you? What does abundance mean to you as an individual? So finding the abundance in the little things can help us along this journey to more and getting used to more. So they're also giving this awareness of the heart chakra and our ability to receive in our lives. So this week, pay particular attention to how willing you are to receive abundance in your life and how you can start more readily welcoming it in. So if somebody buys you a gift, if someone gives you a compliment, how can you not shake that off and refuse it, but wholeheartedly welcome it and go, thank you, and say to yourself, I do deserve this. I do deserve good things, right? Now, once more, if the statement, I am abundant, is hard for you to wrap your head around, what if you use that statement instead? I am worthy of receiving good in my life. Word it in a way that actually lands in you, that invokes a feeling of positivity as opposed to a feeling of, I'm not comfortable. I don't really believe that. We have to start becoming a master of our own tics and our own minds. So this is how we navigate it. We personalize it for ourselves. We recognize when we're not feeling open and fulfilled, and we take note to those specific triggers that make us want to pull away, to not receive, right? So this is how we release those stories. Now, they're also saying it's time to make a clear decision to stop the cycles of the past. So once more, if all you have known is lack, this changes now. You're making this new commitment to yourself. I am making my own story. My past does not define me. My upbringing doesn't define me. My trauma doesn't define me. I am resilient and I am able to create a brand new life for myself starting right now, this moment, today. And it's taking that joy and complimenting yourself every single step of the way, patting yourself on the back every time you say no to lack mindsets, every time you take a step in a positive, abundant energy. Give yourself commendation this week and rejoice in any progress you make. And remember, you're not here to be perfect. You're here to be you. You're here to learn the lessons you signed up for. So take every morsel of this lesson you can and make up your mind to release the need for lack in your life. So identify, what is abundance to me and what does it mean for me? So once more, go into that. Maybe it's not just money that equals abundance. Maybe it's the relationships in your life. Maybe it's the nature walk you were able to take on your lunch break. Maybe it was a certain kind of food that you were able to enjoy today. Really take in it all, because that gratitude and that awareness is what really starts promoting more of that mindset in your life. Okay, so from there, we have this really interesting theme of regulation between the masculine and feminine energies. So this is something that we've seen come up quite a bit the past year or more. I want to say this has been a very dominant underlying theme, and we're really seeing it present this week because once more we have the conflict energy that kind of wants to come in here. You're wrong, I'm right. Difference of opinion. Now look at this in energies, okay? So what came through was regulating each of these energies. Which side of you is more dominant? The masculine side or the feminine side? Now, they want you to be aware of where you are right now, currently. So some of us might be like, oh yeah, I was totally all in my masculine energy in the past, but now I'm in my feminine and blah, 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 blah. But when was the last time you checked in with that balance? Have you checked in today? What are your energies like today? What is trying to take the lead and what is not, right? What is getting overpowered perhaps? So this is where we need to be very conscious every single day, checking in with our bodies, our mind, our energies. What is trying to be dominant today? And how can I listen and regulate and make sure that I'm becoming aware of where I feel like I need to force, where I need to power through, and where I need to flow, and where I need to allow the ease and grace. So finding that beautiful equilibrium between both energies is going to be very important this week. So what do we want to lead with the next little bit? It's time to find harmony. What are the views of your sex and your gender? What stigmas, traumas have you faced? Heal all in love. These stories do not affect you now. Be careful not to feed victimhood. Instead, honor how far you've come. Trim the fat. See the true story, your story. Where have you been in division? Release any and all prejudice. It is a time to heal and to rejoice, not divide. Honor your voice, your difficulty, but know when it is time to let go. There is no need to prove a point. You are human. That is all. All endure hardship. Not one is more valid than the other. Release your collective pain. Okay, let's pause there. This is a huge topic to unpack, and we could go very deep into this one. But what really was coming through was honoring the pain of your story, and specifically your sex. So a lot of us have been seeing this forward movement when it comes to gender and equality and rights. And we need to take this balanced approach. This is what's coming through, is like, yes, we all are valid. All of our stories are valid. All of our pain from generations, from history is valid. However, where have we allowed that to feed into the ego? And where have we allowed that to cause division between us? All dependent on those factors. So what we're really seeing with this amazing healing of these dual energies of the feminine and the masculine, we have to come together within our own energies and with other energies. So what kept coming through here was to release any stigmas and traumas that we have faced according to our sex or our gender. We need to heal all of this now. It is no longer you against this person against you. We all are equal. which is so beautiful because once more, when we come to this awareness of what we're learning, we are learning how to be unconditional in our love. And the stories of our past are not going to be coming forward into the future with us. We are creating a new chapter founded on love as the foundation, not on hate, not on the past and what has occurred in the past. We are making a brand new life for ourselves. So what really came through was like clear all the clutter, like all the stories that is blocking you from this truth of real unconditional love and acceptance. So some of us might really want to advocate for, as example, women's rights. And that is very valid, but to be very mindful of where that can border toxic, where that can border victimhood, and coming into this awareness of our trauma and not letting that define us, not letting the past, the history define us. We are moving forward now. So I love this. It says so much about honoring where you've come from. So if that has been your story, if you have felt inferior, if you have not been able to receive the same rights or the same pay or equality in any way, however this applies to you, we are being called to heal this in absolute love. So we're not going to let division come in anymore. We're not going to let prejudice come in anymore. We are letting it go. So I love how they put this. It's time to heal, to rejoice, not divide. So yes, honor your voice, honor your difficulty, but know when it is time to let it go. We don't need to prove a point anymore, okay? And I love how they bring this awareness to we are all human. That is all. All of us are human. The rest doesn't matter. We all endure hardship and pain. Not one is more valid than the other. This is a time to release collective pain and to come together in love. So then from there, what channeled next was this battle is of the ego, is of the mind, is of the grudge, is of the hurt. It is not on true love. There is no battle, only the one in which you create yourself. And isn't that true? A lot of times when it comes down to it, it's where we ourselves have been hurt and feel the need to advocate. And there's nothing wrong with that. But not allowing ourselves to feed anger from that pain. Not allowing ourselves to go to prejudice or harbor division in our hearts, resentments in our hearts. It's time to break free. And this is what is best for each of us as our true selves, because this frees us. This frees us of pain. This frees us from the past and repeating the same old chapter. We're ready to heal this now. We're ready to come together to love. So notice where there might still be any harbored resentment, judgment, prejudice, and don't judge yourself for it. We are learning how to be unconditionally loving. This is not easy for a lot of us because we have our egos, we have the hurt, we have the humanness. And we're not here to heal out of being human, but we are here to learn how to love. So I love how they really give the responsibility to us, right? There is no battle except the one in your own mind. Now, this next one was quite interesting. There is no spiritual war between light and dark. Both coexist and will remain forever together. Would God endorse division? Balance is required, for without darkness, one would not know the light. Can you let go of these beliefs of separation? Good versus bad, light versus darkness, and free your own mind? There is nothing to fear. For fear is a powerful catalyst. Fear teaches you. It is required to show you your strength, your power. When you bend to fear, you are a victim. But when you rise and embrace it, you become the son, the ruler, the warrior, the triumphant. Do not fear your fear. Embrace it. Embrace what it gives you. It shows you the breadth of your own power. Let's pause there. Wow, so much here. So a lot of us can really feed into the stories that we are in some sort of war, even spiritually, the light and the dark. And it's so easy to believe because that is what we've been taught. We see it all the time in Hollywood, in movies, and books. There's always the good versus light. But what's very interesting and what keeps coming through is how there is a need for darkness. It is required, as unfathomable as that might be for us. How could we see and know the light without experiencing the dark? And what's so interesting is the statement, balance is required. Right? So even fear, even dark, has its place. And if it wasn't there, we would not be able to be triumphant, to not see what we need to see and learn what we need to learn from it. And once more, this might be very hard for some of us to hear, for some of us to digest, for some of us to believe. But if you go to your source, you will see it within yourself. Each of us as human beings carry both energies within us. Darkness and light, our shadows and our sun. That is who we are. That is the balance. And once more, we are not here to defeat our shadows. We're here to learn how to embrace them. So how can we allow ourselves to stop villainizing everything that doesn't look pretty? How can we stop endorsing division? How can we stop fighting the actual balance that's meant to be there? And recognize that there doesn't need to be a war. There is nothing to defeat, to abolish. We're here to bring equilibrium, balance. And when we start stepping into our power, we realize none of those things can hold us victim anymore. So think about that. Is there anything in your life that makes you feel like a victim, that makes you feel powerless, that makes you feel hopeless. Those things are meant to be there because they are helping you move into your power, and they will continue to be there until you claim it for yourself, until you step into your own light and decide to stay in it. So, where are we at war? And how can we come back to harmony? How can you free your own mind and allow yourself to get the big picture? And I love this. We villainize our fear so much. We don't want to feel it. We want to run away from it. We don't want to acknowledge that it's there. But once more, fear teaches us. So when we rise above and embrace it, we step into the triumphant warrior. We step into our power. Right? So what channeled next was, do not feed into fear mongering. Where is your power to go? Dictate and choose wisely. You are a child, no more. Spread your message, your truth, not of pain or divide, but of hope and love regained. That is your true story. So, be loving. So, be kind. God put you here to be so. Correct your thinking. Let go of loose thoughts that hold no ground, no merit. You deserve so much more than your plight. It's now time to step into the sun. I love this so much, because how many of us have focused on the pain of our stories? How many of us feel vindicated or bigger by how much pain we've experienced? Where do some of us get caught up in this comparison of who has been hurt more to prove we are more? But we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to spread our truth and our message in this world of pain and divide. We're no longer taking actions from our pasts, from our pain. We are taking actions from a space of love. And we are sharing a story of hope and love that has been regained. That is our truth. That is what lies in your power. That, my friends, is your true story. Your story doesn't need to be your pain anymore. Your story can be one of unconditional love if you let it. And that is what's so amazing, is the choice is yours. How you choose to live your life is yours. There is no one who's going to force you. There is no one that is going to tell you how to live your life from Spirit, from God. This is up to you. But what's so beautiful is this week they are telling us to get the big picture here. Don't partake in small thoughts anymore. Don't partake in conflict. Don't act from your wounds, from your pain. It's now time to take forward action from a loving space, from the truest space inside you, your heart, your soul, your most authentic self, your light. So don't try to conquer the darkness this week. Don't try to prove your point. Just be. Be in your light. Be in your love energy. Spread love, not fear. And when those things come up, really be mindful of what it is teaching you. If triggers come up, what are they showing you? What are they teaching you? You're not a victim anymore. You are so powerful. And you are learning to go through your life with such ease and grace that none of these things will be able to penetrate your peace. That none of these things will be able to scare you anymore. Because you're starting to finally see how powerful you have been all along. So, my friends, this week, be loving, be kind, and remember to do that for yourself. Be loving to yourself. Be kind to yourself. These are big lessons we're learning, and it won't always be easy. You're not here to be perfect, just perfectly you. And it is okay if you make mistakes this week. If you get roped in this week, it's okay. You're learning. You're growing. It's all for a purpose. So trust yourself. Trust your journey. And I'm sending you so much love and support all this week. If you need help, if you need guidance, please know I'm always here to help. And I'm sending each of you so much love. Have a beautiful and blessed week, my friends. Bye.